Okay, so basically the wiring harness is pretty simple on this, because we got, let me show you what we got did. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but those two extra little LEDs on top of there, those are from a friend of mine that actually just donated them. So the Bullbar already had the holes already ready for a set of extra LEDs. So this is a wiring harness right here. This one right here is a wiring harness for the main one here, and I just used the hole that the front plate was mounted to, passed it through the deal. I'm going to have to make these are a little bit shorter. Both of these wires for these are shorter, so I'm basically going to have to splice them together and make a pigtail to connect to the main one, so all three of them turn on at the same time. But the biggest part of this is the harness. Okay, so the harness is basically, it's a hot and cold going straight to the battery with a relay in it and a fuse, and it's just a simple on-off relay. And I'll just take a metal screw and I'll mount it here or there, somewhere in there. Run the harness around the corner right here, through the grill, down to the bumper. And I'll zip tie everything up real close. There's plenty of lead for that. And like I said, this is just, and the other part about it is there's about a 6-foot lead with a little small 2-foot lead on-off switch for inside the cab. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the water reservoir. It's usually mounted right up here on these two bolts. Right down there, right there, is the hole where the antenna comes through. So all you gotta do is just unbolt the two bolts. They're 13 millimeters. Move it aside, and you got a beautiful little hole to send those wires through into the cab for a nice clean install, so it won't show and it won't look crappy like half this rest of this engine compartment is. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to change these out. These have the shit beat out of them and they look awful, and clean this up, and I'll show you the harness on the bottom once we get done with it. Okay, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about over here. These terminals were just awful, just terrible. So like I had these sitting on the pegboard for 30 years, and the other nice little thing I got is I have about 6 dozen of these. Now I don't know if you guys know what these are, but these are called battery washers, and they don't let things corrode. So we're going to add these to that along with those, and clean some wire ends because they are nasty, and just clean this up. Just do a little maintenance while I'm here. This is where we're at so far. New fitting. There was 3 grounds. I don't know where they go to, but I didn't take any chances. So I put them together, shrink wrapped them, connected them there. Hot wire for all the LEDs coming off the battery. New terminal, biscuit. Cleaned the wires on that one. You saw what I did. It's in through the antenna port behind the water tanks, so water tank's back hung up. I did put a self tapper in there with a wire holder just because, okay, just to keep it from going through. And then I fed the main lead, the ground and the power lead down. I don't know if you can see, but it's down beside the radiator, and I'm going to zip tie a couple of spots, but I'm basically going to run it through, and I'm going to end up shortening it because there's a lot of extra, because I have some that's, if you can see it, it's, give you a little light, I got a couple of pieces wrapped up in here going down. It's time to go back underneath, and I think I got everything that I need. My shrink wrap, my cutters, my wire strippers, my crimpers, and all my fittings. So let's get up underneath this thing and see what's up. Okay, so basically what we got is I've come through from the back side here next to the radiator hose, down next to that, through that hole right there in the frame, bring it back through this hole in the frame because we're not dealing with any moving parts. I have both of the top extra LED lights coming through the holes for the license plate, and I have the one for the big main one coming through the lower hole for the license plate. So my idea is this: we're just going to basically make a 3-piece splitter. I'm going to put ends on both of these and ends on the main one here, or if I got ends on it, and I'm going to make a triple to put those all three together into one lead to the main lead. And then I got to find someplace. I've got to find someplace underneath here to mount this up. I'm thinking about drilling a hole, small hole right here, and running a zip tie or a wire. No, it's probably going to be a zip tie. Drilling a hole here and zip tying everything up together. I know this, there ain't a lot of light, but zip tying everything up together so it's not flailing around and bouncing around while we're driving. So that's the plan. Okay, guys, if you're here, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Bleep bloop with questions down below. Tell your friends.
Have you seen my checkbook?
Gotta go. We're going to talk about how to wire something up when you don't have a lot of room to work. Okay, so everything that sometimes when you get in situations where you don't have the space to get your wire strippers in and put your connectors on and your heat shrinks and all that kind of stuff, and that, in that case, that's the point where I like to make pigtails, or what I call a pigtail. All right, and basically that's taking 2 or 3 different leads and making them into one. Now there's a couple little tricks that I'm going to show you, but I'd like to show you about how I do it to make sure that I only have to do it one time and they last indefinitely and they don't come apart, wiggle apart. So let's get to it. All you're going to do is, if you got, like on this truck right now, I had 3 leads, 2 extra LED lights, and the main light. Okay, so I had 3 of them that I had to wire in to the battery, and there's not a lot of space in front of those trucks to do much work, and the leads on them weren't very long. So basically I had to improvise, and what I did was I made a 3-piece pigtail to make 3 into 1, and I did it 2 times. I did one for the ground, which I did in black, and I did one for the hot side, which I did in red, which matches what's on the existing wire looms for those lights. But basically there's just a couple of little steps that I do to make sure that it lasts as long as it can, because the last thing you want to do is do a job like this and have to get underneath it in a year because everything is wiggled loose and nothing's working. So I like to make it last as long as possible. So I'm just going to cut these this is just for show and tell. And this is basically what I did underneath the front of that Yukon to get the lights to work. And I gotta say, guys, if you come across one of these, there's a bunch of different types, but basically it's just a good old-fashioned quick wire stripper, well worth the 10 bucks. Works like a charm. It doesn't eat away your wires, doesn't cut on your wires, it just strips the rubber off of it so you can get a nice good connection. Well worth it. Now the first thing is that you got 3 different leads, or 2 different leads if you're doing 2. Okay, now this is just kind of a general rule of thumb. a red connector is for one wire. A blue connector, which is for a heavier gauge wire, is for two wires. And a yellow connector, which is for an even heavier gauge, is for three wires. Okay, so what I did was I had a whole plethora of the blues, which is, this is a little bit of heavier gauge wire than it was actually on the lights themselves, so I went a little heavier just because, and used blue on the connection ends. But if you're going to connect 2 or 3 different pieces together, this is what I want you to do. I'm going to put this up here so you can see. I want you to take the strands of the wire. We're not doing the whole put them together and twist thing. I want you to do that. See that? That's what I want you to do with all 3 ends of the wire. Just spread them out, fan them out. And just make lots of space in between all them. Make lots of space between all of them pieces, right? This is what's going to make it last forever, okay? Because if you just take these wires and just twist them together, and you can pull them right apart, they don't connect well. But if you do this, you're not going to be able to get them apart. And you do that, and you basically got to be a little, if you're doing 3, you got to be a little bit of a magician. But if you're doing 3, you just basically get them all together like that. Then you twist them together just like that. That connection won't come apart. Will not come apart, okay? Then, before you do anything else, I want you to go someplace and I want you to get a kit of this. These are heat shrink sleeves. This is the winter chicken dinner right here. Alright, so we are doing, again, comes in 3 different colors, yellow, blue, and red. Again, red, 1 wire, blue, 2 wires, yellow, 3 wires, okay? Alright, so before we do anything else, you don't have to have a lot of this, so I generally just use half a sleeve. And just cut it with the wire cutter, cut it with the scissors, do whatever you do. Open it up, and before you put the connection on, you put this over the end, just like that. And that actually helps hold it together and makes it a little bit more manageable. And then we're just going to put our yellow for 3 wires. We're going to put them together, and we're basically, and I don't want these 3 wires flat like this. I want these 3 wires together like this, okay? Not like this together. And that's the way these 3 are. And we're just going to twist it in, and I just want to see, let me get this focus. See the wire? See the wire sticking out? Alright, now, before I do anything else, I'm going to take my finger, or I'm going to take a screwdriver, and I'm going to bend that wire across, like that, alright? Alright, and then that's connected, alright? Just to hold it and then connect it, because if you push this on the small end first, it's just going to push the wire out of it. Alright, now, the last step of all of this is the heat shrink. Now, I push it all the way up past the connector itself, just like that. All the way up past it, because basically you got a lot of connector there there's no need for it to show, so you can take it all the way up to just where you're going to make the connection, because this is going to shrink up a little bit. And you can either use your heat gun, or you can use, this is just a barbecue lighter, but just give it a nice heating up. Now be careful, this bitch is going to be hot for a little bit, okay? But once this cools, you aren't going to take it apart. It's not going to come apart, because you have the connection holding it together, and you have the heat shrink holding a connection on the ends of those wires. for the friction between the two, which that is going to be, this is what I did for the wiring for the lights on the front of that Yukon. And the other end, you still use the heat shrink. I did the same thing, but I had a male for this, and I had 3 females that I put on for the connection. Popped right on, not a problem at all, and it'll last forever. Okay, there's very, very rarely have I had, over all these years, had one of these fail. So that's how you make a pigtail. Yep, she's still hot, but that's how you do it. Okay, let me tell you what we did. This is, I had to make some pigtails up to put everything together. Basically, I took the 2 smaller ones in the top and I put them together. This is the one for the big one for the Bullbar. So I had to make 2 to 1 to connect to the main power cord going up to the battery. So that's the 2 to 1 from the Bullbar lights and those. So it's, I had to drill a hole to get a zip tie in to hold this up out of place. Like I said, it's run through the frame right next to the L brackets, and then I did put a zip tie right there, and I bent, that lip was curved towards the wires, so I actually bent it out so it wouldn't rub in the future. But that's it, and we got it. We got them all wired in. I just ran it, you saw me where I put it through the hole, and it's power on all the time, which I really don't like, but it is. And that's off and that's on. Off and on. And I could probably, well, that's just the power showing that there's power to it, but that's the relay. And I just ran it through, up underneath, into the dash. Well, it's Sunday night and the moon is out and it's about dusk, and this is probably not a pretty good representation, but I didn't want to make the neighbors mad. So right now, that's my big oak tree in my backyard, and we're sitting with the Bullbar up front, and we'll just give this a little test. This is the headlights for the truck. And now I just want you to know that that oak tree out there, the truck is actually angled downhill right now. And here's the LEDs. Boom. Now, as I said, these are sitting, it's sitting downhill. Basically, the truck's pointed at the grass in front of the tree. But that's my fence in the back there that you can see at a bad angle with these lights. This is pretty freaking bright. So that's their comparison. This is a combination of the headlights and the Bullbar, and that's no Bullbar. And that's the Bullbar, and no Bullbar. Bullbar, no bar. There's a huge difference. Yeah, I'd say she's bright. And she's shining way out there. And yeah, they're all on, already attracting. So if I had to give my vote, thumbs up. Now this is the actual, I guess it's the brand, Bullbar. Engineered Peru, yeah, rigorously designed in the USA, but made in China. Ultimate Bullbar. I will have to say, thumbs up. Very awesome, cool looking bar.